Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, our online talk show where we get to have conversations with diverse people and organizations who are impacting lives positively. And as well, we use the platform to basically celebrate places, positive news, as well. My name is Dr. Kemi Akiode Adebayo, also known as Dr. Mama K. And in today's program to share a story. I can't wait to hear it. I've been so excited to hear it. Is the energetic, action-oriented Ms Nobandla Gobodo, who is the founder, managing director of Sange SA, which is based in Johannesburg, South Africa. My dear Nobs, she's known as Nobs as well. So welcome to Impact Africa. Tell us first, what does Nobandla mean? I'm just curious about the name first.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mama K, for the invite. Truly an honor to be here. So my name Nobandla actually means born before the forefathers. So my dad was a traditional healer. And at the time he was busy doing a ceremony, I decided to pop up.
I like that.
Yeah. It was a home birth delivered by my aunt. I didn't see a hospital for a few months after. So maybe that's where all this energy comes from. I'm not sure.
Probably, I completely agree. It's like, no, you guys are stopping everything. I'm coming out. Born before the forefathers. That's awesome. So you were born where? And tell us about life growing up and family. Are you firstborn, secondborn, lastborn, middle child? Where do you belong?
Where am I? So I was born in a rural village called Matribini in the Eastern Cape Province in South Africa. So in a town of Umbu, basically, so close to Umtata, for people who are very familiar with that side. Right. And nope, not a firstborn, also not a lastborn, but I am child number 11 of 12.
Oh, so, almost the lastborn.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, 11 months later, the lastborn showed up, so...
And I said, I'm coming. I'm going to be last born. You are not the last born because you decided to pop out, that quickly. That's a huge family. I'm from a big family, so I can relate very well. Tell us about life growing up and schools you went to, and your educational background, your own family as well.
Yes, so I grew up in this village in the Eastern Cape and lived with my grandmother and my aunt until my grandma passed away when I was 5. I then moved to Cape Town. This is where my parents were. So this was also back in the time of people moved to the suburbs or to the towns, mostly Cape Town or Johannesburg to work. So that's what my parents were doing. So when Granny passed on, I then moved that side. But before I moved that side, I had actually started preschool in the Eastern Cape, so wasn't familiar with English at all. I then moved to Cape Town. My mother was a domestic worker, so we then lived with her employers at the time and were then put in an English school or Model C school as it was referred to back then. And that's when I learned English and also realized that there are people a bit lighter than me out there because I wasn't exposed to that, being in such a tiny rural village. So life growing up, I mean, coming from a big family does have its dynamics because we have quite a big age gap, the firstborn and myself. Right. So I didn't really grow up close with the older siblings, but with the ones in the middle, we were quite close, built a relationship. And yes, so grew up in Cape Town, went to school in Hout Bay, went to high school in Camps Bay, and then tertiary education was a mixture of UCT in Cape Town.
University of Cape Town, okay.
Yes, University of Cape Town. And then also I moved to Johannesburg to then finish off my studies. A lot happened when I turned 21. At the time I was doing my second year. My dad passed away on a Monday. That's the last time UCT saw me. So, yeah. I then went and worked and, yeah, want to say the rest is history, but who knows? It might come up during the interview. So I'll then elaborate.
So what did
more.
you study? Because you didn't share what you studied there.
So initially, I studied film and media. So in high school, I did drama, theater, and performance, got the Best Actress Award for the year, really into it. So I did that for 2 years, but I think also at the time, I didn't really want to go to the University of Cape Town. I wanted to go to Rhodes University in Grahamstown. This is where the arts is. But my dad then said, nope, you are not leaving Cape Town. At the time, not realizing that a year and 9 months later, he would actually be leaving us. So maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So, I love your humble beginning, there with and still being able to share it, about the fact that, yeah, your mom, was a domestic worker. I don't know what your dad was doing. For you as a young African, South African, what are you mostly proud of in terms of, maybe culture, food, or what are you mostly proud of?
I think I'm proud of our rich culture as South Africans, our traditions, our heritage, just the things we hold close to us. I think that is also what my dad instilled in us. So quite a traditional man, really believes in all of our traditions, in our culture, in our food. So having then moved to Gauteng, I was just mind blown by the diverse cultures, the different foods, that I wasn't used to. Because I was used to a lot of, food from the Eastern Cape, being the Xhosa people. Also food in the Western Cape, which could have a mixture of your Xhosas, your Zulus, your Afrikaans, your English.
Malay, your
Malay, yes. So when I then moved to Gauteng, it was a whole different ballgame, I mean, I'm into jollof rice now.
You don't have a choice.
All the way in Nigeria.
Don't have a choice. Don't let's start the war about the West African with jollof rice. That is Nigerian or Ghanaian or Gambian. So let's move now back to Sange, your organization. Why did you start it? When and what is the name? I'm not too sure. I'm like, is it an English name? Is it also a name? What does the name mean? And why and when did you start?
So Sange, basically, it's a name, it's xhosa. It's actually my name. It's my marriage name. So in our Xhosa culture, when you get married and now you're doing the traditional wedding, your new family gives you a name for what you symbolize or what they are hoping you will symbolize and bring to their family. So Sange means unite and take care of us. So I loved the meaning of it. Yes.
That's deep.
It's deep, eh? So I love the meaning of the name based on the work that we do. So we do quite a lot of work with youth, unemployed youth from disadvantaged communities. So I think I like that element of, uniting South Africa and taking care of its future, which is its youth. The company was unofficially started in 2015 as a division of my then events company called Sange Event Concepts. But then this division took over the business. So in 2017, I decided to register this division as its own entity. So it then became officially registered as Sange SA in 2017. So this is our 6th year in operation.
Wow, well done, well done. And I like the fact that, like you said, you started, on a different platform and, grown into this. In terms of the services you provide, what are some of the services you provide? And how has the journey been for you so far?
Ooh, yeah. So,
Have I some time?
Hey. So at Sange SA, we aim to drive economic growth through sustainable development initiatives. So our core is in learning and development, leadership development, and good governance. Now the services under there, we are an accredited training provider. We also offer broad-based Black economic empowerment advisory services, employment equity advisory, skills development advisory, and ad hoc HR support. So the other advisories, it's a lot around our compliance and some legislation in South Africa, which is all around equity. Now, in terms of the journey, it has been an interesting one, and I think many entrepreneurs can share, their own roller coaster rides and journeys, of which we've also had that. When I look back at how we started and where we are now, we have certainly had challenges along the way. I mean, one simple thing is looking at, even capacity, looking at HR forces, trying to find the right people who fit what we are trying to build, but who also understand that we are still building. I think that is another challenge when you are an SMME, is that you are still small, you are still building. So you hire people and they don't understand what that entails. They don't understand that there'll be moments where we have great highs and where we have, low lows. Fortunately, though, with our team, I mean, we've never paid people late. I think since we do quite a lot of work around legislation, compliance, and implementing it, we fully understand the basic conditions of Employment Labor Relations Act. But I mean, it's having people who believe in your vision and see where you are going. Those have been some of the challenges that we faced. And also, learning as an entrepreneur when to let go. Yes, we need to know every aspect of how a business operates, but we can't be the jack of all trades. Otherwise we become a master of none, or we end up dropping the ball in some cases. So as an example, bookkeeping, I did study financial management and accounting, but got to a point where I needed to hand this over to the experts who actually understand tax laws, compliance, and so on. So they handle that. They keep me in check while I now have the opportunity to go and drive strategy and build the business. So I think those are some of the lessons that went along the way.
Before we go on the break, which we're shortly going to go into, what are you mostly proud of? Because obviously, what you're saying there, I love that, the fact that you're making sure you are practicing what you are trying to train others, in terms of being a service provider. What are you mostly proud of? Or is success something, maybe an award, I don't know, something you're mostly proud of in the last 6 years for you?
I'm proud of our students. So when I look at the journey of even where we started as a company, where, we need to build trust with clients, we need to build trust with students, looking at where we started with our students and where some of those students are, because we continue to monitor that journey. So very proud of our students who believed in us and trusted us to actually serve them as we should and help develop their careers to where they need to be. And also, I'm proud of what we've achieved as an organization and the recognition that we are starting to receive from all of our efforts. Because at some point you work, you push, there's a lot you put in, and then it feels like you're not going anywhere. So I think this 6th year, we've really seen quite a big transformation in our organization. I am seeing now the next level of where we are going. And we have clients who trust us, trust us with their strategic goals, trust us with their people, trust us with the solutions that we are putting together. So I'm very proud of, I think those are the two key that I'm proud of.
Awesome. And I'm sure there's really, really many more. But we'll stop for a quick break and we will be right back. Wow, Nobs, what a journey. Even your entrance into this world was majestic. The name Nobandla, like you said, born before forefathers, the 11th child of 12. You were born in Kumbu and then moved from the Eastern Cape to the Western Cape. In Camps Bay, schooled in that place, went to University of Cape Town, your studies, and I knew you had a close relationship with your dad. in terms of instilling tradition and culture, into you. And not only that, the name of your organization alone, Sange means unity, as somebody who comes to unite and take care of people, and you're using that to unite our young people. And, the services you provide is very, very much needed, in South Africa and across Africa as a whole. So for you, what are the three most things or anything or people that you value most in life for you?
So I think the people I value the most, it's my family. So first and foremost, they have been my motivator for my efforts. I value my team. So the team that I have cheers me on. They believe in the brand that we are building. So we are now at a good place in terms of our HR. And then I value our clients. So our clients, it's made up of the actual investors. It's also made up of our VIPs, which are our students. So I value them for believing in us and just giving us a chance.
So what keeps you going? I know you're energetic, you love doing things, and I love those three kind of people that you say: your family, your team, and your clients, which includes your investors. What motivates you? Is it your clients that keep you going in the morning? Is it your family? What motivates you as a person?
It's my children. My children motivate me. I think
How many children?
I have two children. So I have an 11-year-old, almost 12, and a 1-year-old. So quite a gap, but they motivate me. They inspire me. It's the reason I wake up each morning, even on days when I feel like I don't know what's happening. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know if all the efforts I'm putting in will pay off. But they motivate me. And I think when you are happy as a person, happy as a mother, when I feel like I'm doing well, I'm giving it my all, I'm then able to be a present mom, a loving mom, a happy mom, and ultimately a happy human being. So yeah, that's my motivator.
Now, let me go to some deep questions, which is about, and I know a lot of people come up with different answers, and there's no wrong or right, about it. For me personally, how would you define success? And what is leadership, to you?
Yeah, so as you said, we all have our own definitions, our own interpretations. So for me, I define success, or success for me is achieving what I have set out to achieve. And success for me is true happiness. So that's my definition.
What was the last one? Sorry, because I write a lot. What was that last one?
It's true happiness.
Oh, true happiness. Okay.
True happiness.
Okay. And leadership?
And then leadership, many definitions of it. But leadership is not being afraid to make mistakes, not being afraid to receive feedback. It's also opening doors for others when you see the opportunity. Having a growth mindset, I really believe in that. Not fearing vulnerability. And it's also leading in your space. So how do I lead in my space? How can I lead in my own space? So it's taking that leap of faith and trusting your gut. So that is how I would define it.
I love that definition of both success and leadership from you. So, and as a leader within Sange, for you, yourself, and even, within family, network, home, and various, areas that you find yourself in, what do you think are the essential qualities a leader should have?
So many qualities there as well, but integrity, I think integrity is key. Having passion is key, because when you are passionate about what you do, it means you also believe in it. It means that you will follow through on it. It's also being accountable. So understanding accountability. So when things don't go as I hoped, I need to be able to take accountability and responsibility for that. Confidence, but not having an ego, but being confident, even in yourself, in your team, in what you are doing. Self-awareness, which I think is very key. Resilience. So resilience to stay the course, and perseverance as well. And then courage. So courage is important, because even not being afraid means I have courage.
I completely agree with you. I think I'll ask this final question before we go on yet another small short break. As a fellow African Women Entrepreneur Cooperative sister, Quad 5, shout out to all our Quad 5 out there and all the seniors before and the current Quad 6 ongoing. Shout out to you all. For you, wow, it was a year of so many things. For you, what stood out, for you for that year? And what are some of the experiences that you gained that you feel you'll share, something you liked or didn't like, or something just to help other people for you?
So, as a fellow graduate, cohort 5, I loved the program. It was really life-changing. Whenever I'm asked about it, that is always my answer, or that's included in my feedback. It really changed my life. And when the program started, I was also a new mom. My daughter, the program started before I gave birth. So, yeah, about a week before.
So that's a baby, awake baby we have there.
Yes, it's an awake baby that we have. And there was just so much happening. I was overwhelmed as a new mom, figuring out those challenges. And then on the other hand, it felt like my business was not coping without me. So I then realized that I hadn't actually built a sustainable business. So the program came in at the right time, and at a time where I was saying, yes, I want the help. Yes, I need the help. Tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. And that's what I was doing. So the assignments were valuable because it allowed me to practically apply everything that I was learning into my business. I also involved my team members in some of the assignments because some of the areas sat in their departments, and I needed them to also have the information and to share and give their insights. Peer sessions were amazing. Peer feedback, vital. The support received from my mentor, Kudzai, and my PA, peer advisor, Kola, was exceptional. Team 24, which was the team that I was in, we've built a sisterhood there. We are now joined.
I don't know this Team 24. What's this Team 24?
Team 24. That's the best team.
Okay.
And then the whole cohort 5. And I think just also having that WhatsApp group was amazing because we got to connect, with people outside of our peer group, outside of our team. And we got to see what all these other amazing women and entrepreneurs across Africa are doing. And we got to share best practices. So got to learn things that I can now apply in my business where someone has already walked, that journey. So that's what I take out.
So have you, that's awesome. Apart from me not knowing about Team 24, I'm not in that Team 24. Noms, anyway, we'll talk about that after. So for you, and then we're going to have a short break. Have you had any collaboration, with any of the AWEC court or even those before, before us? And how is that going?
So one of the assignments, the first one, the team assignment, allowed us to really explore what our fellow sisters were actually up to, got to meet people and really got to expand on how do we collaborate, how do we move our businesses out of our own country and into Africa. So I've collaborated with, a few ladies. I want to say 3 as certain collaborations. So the one is in South Sudan and the other one is in Kenya. We are collaborating on a coaching program. We've applied for funding, waiting for feedback. And then there's another lady who's based here in South Africa who's in the travel and tourism space. So we have partnered with them for a tech and tourism conference that is coming up now in October in Johannesburg, South Africa. So very excited about that. We are the accredited learning and development partner there, which means that we are looking at what are the skills required in that industry currently and what are the skills of the future and what does learning and development look like.
Right.
So very excited about that. And then there are a few
Well
other
done.
type. Yes. No, thank you so much.
Well done to you and all the sisters for that. And I can't wait to hear everyone's story as well at some point, because I strongly believe collaboration indeed is the way forward in every area of life at the moment, especially business. So, and I can see you in a cafe having coffee, something there, and I can see the sun seems to be getting into your face. But you know what? We'll be right back, and for more, you sharing your stories. That segment before was just packed. You know, for me, what you value most, you know, family, clients, your team, your what motivates you, your children, you're really blessed, you know, and as well the qualities, you know, of a leader, which I believe you are definitely practicing, and what success means to you, and also sharing all about AWEC there. Well, if you're not part of AWEC or no AWEC, please go and find out more about it, because we all need such programs to build more of ourselves, you know, and who we are. So now, Nobs, what I want to hear, even though you've shared a little bit of that journey with the story so far, of your story, can you share any key lessons? I know you've shared some, you know, saying when you were pregnant, you didn't realize, you know, that the business depended on you. And, you know, so what are some of the key lessons that you can advise a younger 7-year-old Nobs, maybe in your hometown in the Eastern Cape, to say, okay, you need to do this, you do that, to do that. But very briefly, you know, what are some of the life lessons that you can share with us?
Yeah, I think some of the life lessons, if I were to share them with my younger self, it would be, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to start all over. It's not the end of the world, because I think a lot of the time we are very hard on ourselves, whether we are still young or even in entrepreneurship, where you're wondering, have I wasted my time in this? I've had many businesses, so about 8 to be exact. So quite a few trials and errors, but experiences that I am very grateful for. So I think key lessons: don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to, you know, start all over again if you need to. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's really not the end of the world.
I love that. Very brief, very precise, and very real, you know, as well. So in closing, this is my final question now. I know part of what you're doing is helping young people, which I believe is helping in terms of poverty, unemployment, you know, training, skills development, and everything else. For you, what are some of the social issue, or one social issue, that you would like something to be done about it? Or maybe you're even doing it, I don't know, or somebody else to do it. So I want you to share with us what that issue is. And not just the issue, but what are some of the solutions, you know, to that, whether it's practical or not. What are some of the solutions? Because it's always about solution. How can we fix this problem?
Yes.
And I always believe you have a challenge, it creates an opportunity. So
yes,
please do share.
So I think very close to my heart, the work that we are doing, it's really addressing youth unemployment. So that's, a crisis in South Africa. Now so addressing youth unemployment then impacts crime, poverty, and education. Looking at upskilling one learner at a time. Now, as Sange SA, we have developed a program which is around youth employability. So it's to help with employability skills. Now, these are very underrated skills, but so crucial to land that job and secure it, or to create that job. So this is the gap between education and employment. We have so many unemployed graduates in our country. Now, when I think of this in South Africa and I look at the talent we also have coming from Africa, from the different countries, we then find that this is a challenge we have in Africa, where we have youth who have gone out, they've studied, they've said, this is the field I'm passionate about, but now they are struggling to either secure a job. They can go for the interview, but they don't secure the job. Some of them get the job, but after 3 months, you find that they are out of a job. So these are the skills that we are really developing in our youth. And we are hoping to really get companies to partner with us. So whether it's our colleagues in training, whether it's the education sector, private sector, public sector, but let's collaborate and equip youth with these employability skills to actually change our current stats as a country, as Africa as a whole.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. I completely agree. And I hope, those who can, those who might be able to, you heard their Nobs is ready to partner through Sange's SA. They are ready to partner because we cannot do it alone, and we cannot keep blaming the government or other people. And there's so much, out there that can be done. And it reduces as well the stress of, what needs to be done. So thank you, my dear AWEC South African sister. I know a lot of people go, how come you always claiming South Africa? They don't understand. I'm even wearing shweshwe. Can you see? Shweshwe.
I see that. And I see also background there, Table Mountain looking beautiful.
So we're promoting South Africa today. That is what this is about. Anyway, it's been awesome. Just humbling for me. There's a lot I probably will still even want to ask you, that I want to find out more from you. But like I always tell all our guests, please be open for a part 2 for us to come back and find out how you're doing, especially some of the projects that you're on, some of your program, the Youth Employability Program. How is that doing? What does that achieve? How can that be replicated in other places? Who else, needs to be on the table, and things like that. So thank you. We salute you. We honor you. We celebrate you for all you're doing, because through Sange and you, SA and your team, you are impacting lives. You might not see it, but you are. And this is what this program is about, to celebrate those who are impacting lives, and at the same time to give hope, to others that might feel, oh, I want to learn. If she can do it, I can do it. If she can make that journey from the Eastern Cape with her mother this and that, I can do it. So we celebrate you. So in closing, I would love for you to just give words of advice directly to anyone that you feel you want to speak directly to. Words of encouragement, whatever you want to say. In closing, I want you to do that.
Yes, no, thank you so much, Dr. Mama K, for this opportunity and the amazing work that you are doing. It's really making a huge difference and just showcasing what everyone is actually trying to do, the changes that we are trying to actually make in our country, in our beautiful Africa. So my closing words of advice, so to the entrepreneurs, let's keep pushing those boundaries and transforming lives. To the youth who are still wondering which path to take, please do a self-reflection, see what your strengths are, what challenges are you facing, what areas can you develop in, and please make a decision. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to start all over. but make a decision. No one can guide you or assist you if you haven't decided on the path you are taking.
Spot on. I love that. Keep pushing boundaries. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And like I said, there's been nuggets, from the life lessons shared, your journey, even you describing, leadership, success. There's been so much out there. Thank you, Nobs. And it's a wrap on this occasion. Ms Nobandla Gobodo, we salute you. Thank you for all you're doing and your team at Sange, South Africa. Until next time, our people on Impact Africa, we are saying stay safe, stay blessed, and keep watching. We will be sharing the details, at the end as well. If you want to contact Nobs directly, please feel free to do that. Am I right? I'm just making sure I'm right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Definitely.
So we
Thank
will
you.
be sharing the details. Feel free to contact them directly to see where else, can we partner? How else can we continue to address youth unemployment in South Africa, in Africa as a whole? So till next time, how do you say bye-bye in xhosa?
Nisale kakuhle.
Are you sure? That's longo. Noms.
Salani kakuhle, which one?
I haven't heard that one before. Now you've confused me. So, okay, which one is that one? Say it again.
You can say salani kakuhle, so it means stay well.
Salani. Oh gosh, I've never heard.
Kakuhle.
Kakutle. Okay, all right. Stay well. And this is Nobs and Dr. Babake saying, say, take care. God bless.
Bye.